What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Vault. My name is Money, and today we are going to be covering the third day of reveals from Funko for VirtualCon 2021, otherwise known as Emerald City Comic Con, but Comic Con is canceled, so it's not really Emerald City Comic Con. You guys get the point. So today we're going to be covering technically the fourth day of reveals, but it's actually only the third full day of reveals, so it's going to be interesting to see what Funko announces. There's going to be a lot of TV, a lot of movies, and I'm pretty excited to get into these reveals because there is some stuff, finally, that I'm actually interested in. I have posted a part 1 and a part 2 to this series here on the channel. The thumbnails are probably floating around here once I'm editing, so make sure you guys go ahead and check those out. I'll link them at the end of this video for you guys to check out when you're done with this one. The first reveal of the day starts off with The Office, and we have Dwight Schrute as Kerrigan. And this one is kind of bittersweet. On one hand, I am so glad that Recyclops Dwight is done. I was worried that they may try and do like other Recyclops stages because they did skip a few of them. So I'm just excited that Recyclops is finally done and they're going to be moving on to other Office exclusives. However, it is yet again just another Dwight variant. And it's just adding to the infinite amount of Dwight variants that they've done already. I feel like the Dwight variants wouldn't be as bad if Funko didn't do as many Dwights during the common wave. Like the most recent wave that they announced at Toy Fair, we have a Dwight and a Chase, both Chalice collectibles. I believe there's another Dwight as well. So it's just like this oversaturation of Dwight that I'm getting a little annoyed with. But at the same time, I am happy that this is another variation of Dwight as opposed to just another Recyclops. Next up, we have from the boys, The Deep. Now, this had been rumored for quite some time, and this had been a pop that leaked last summer and was supposedly going to be a part of San Diego Comic-Con 2020, and it just got delayed indefinitely because of the pandemic. But I personally am glad that this is happening for Emerald City Comic-Con, considering that The Deep is green, and Emerald City Comic-Con's motif is green, so this makes complete sense to me. If they were going to do any character from The Boys, I mean, The Deep just makes the most amount of sense to me. Now, I personally don't watch The Boys, and actually it's on a list of shows that I have been meaning to watch, so I definitely will watch it at some point, and I'm sure that I'll definitely love this pop once I watch it, because I can see that the community is super excited for this pop, and while it's not for me personally, I'm very excited that The Boys is getting more representation, because they have that wave that got delayed almost a year and a half because of the pandemic. So I am so excited for you fans out there, because not only is that wave finally hitting store shelves, but you guys are also getting an awesome, popular character as a Comic-Con exclusive, and having a show that you love get represented like that during a Comic-Con season, it's just an awesome feeling. From the TV show V, we have Diana with Lizard Face. I don't know what the show V is. I assume it has to do with aliens or like lizard people. I don't know. If you guys watch V, leave me a comment down below letting me know why or why not I should watch this show. But this pop is a highlight of the convention. I don't care what anybody says. From a figure standpoint, knowing nothing about the context material, this pop is incredible. The fact that they took the time to make the mold with the skin peeled down and attached to her chin, right? Yeah, it's attached to the side of her face, and have that lizard eye and the little green skin around it peeking out is just so incredible. I imagine that this is probably a point in the TV series where like her disguise falls off by accident, or the lizard person reveals themselves to be a bad guy all along. I think that is just such an awesome looking figure, and it also fits in with that green motif that Emerald City Comic Con is all about. So for me, this is a personal highlight of the convention. And again, while I'm not going to be picking it up, I think that it is definitely going to be one of the most sought after pops for those of you who are into this whole, I assume, horror genre of TV. From Earthbound and Down, we have Kenny Powers. And I mean, this is just an awesome pop. Earthbound and Down is a great series, and this pop is just hysterical. I love how they have the sunburnt face where his glasses once were. It's just it's something that you don't get to see in a pop figure a lot, so I'm glad that Funko took the opportunity to make this a figure. I also love how on some of these baseball-related pops, they're putting the bases underneath them as a part of the mold, rather than giving the plastic insert to keep them standing up. I think that's just a nice attention to detail. Like, oh, they're on a baseball field, let's give them the base and a little bit of the sand underneath them. Next up, we have Scott Pilgrim versus the World. We have a Todd Ingram soda limited to 12,000 pieces. We have a Matthew Patel soda limited to 2,000 pieces. And then we have Kim Pine with her drumsticks. So just like The Deep from The Boys, Kim Pine is another example of a pop that was rumored to happen for San Diego Comic-Con last year, but got delayed indefinitely because of the pandemic. Now, of course, I am a Scott Pilgrim collector. It is a line that I actually have 100% of, but I have recently decided to stop collecting Scott Pilgrim because I think I've gotten everything that I want out of it, and I am going to be selling off part of that collection because I think it's just, I have too many of the same character. I don't need to have that set completed. So for the first time, I'm going to say I am not going to be picking up Kim Pine from Scott Pilgrim. However, those Funko sodas do interest me a little bit. Now, Todd Ingram is going to be the first convention soda shared to a retailer. It's going to be going to Hot Topic, which means that Hot Topic stores are only going to be getting a very limited amount of these. I'm not sure how many Hot Topic locations there are, and that's even if they bring the sodas to stores. We could see that this be an online exclusive only, rather than going to brick and mortar stores and people going out to get them. So we'll have to see exactly how Hot Topic handles this soda and the glow-in-the-dark chase. That Matthew Patel soda is limited to 2,000 pieces. And that is just one of the lowest numbers for a soda that we've seen so far. And I think it's only going to go to lottery winners most likely. Next up, we move to Pop Garbage Pail Kids. We have Boney Tony. So this one's funny because about an hour before Funko actually revealed this, Hot Topic posted this as a part of their, like, here's what's releasing today. And they had this pop in the shop by accident. And I'm like, come on, it's probably posted all over their walls in the back of the store. Like, please don't post anything about these Emerald City Comic-Con pops. So I just feel so bad for that Hot Topic employee because they've probably gotten so much trouble for accidentally posting it, because I'm assuming that it's a confidentiality breach to be posting things that they can't officially reveal yet. But as far as this pop goes, this is another highlight of the convention, I think. And while it doesn't play on the green motif of Emerald City, in general, this is just a great looking pop, and the sculpt on it is fantastic. All the different pieces, the skull, the zipper, the skin peeling around it, just one of the best pops of this convention, and it might be one of the best pops of the year considering what it looks like in person. Next up, we go back to Pop Retro Toys again with Candyland Plumpy. Now, it's interesting to me that they didn't reveal this with the, the Transformer reveal from the first day of reveals. I think Retro Toys was the only set that they split up between 2 different days for some reason, but I don't know what this is. I'm not a Candyland fan. Danny absolutely loves Candyland. And this guy kind of looks like a sophisticated Grinch. I don't know if that's messed up to say or not, but it exists. Here it is. And over the last couple of days, I've been talking about a few of these different Emerald City Comic-Con exclusives and how I feel that there may be flocked variants of some of these in the future. A couple of these examples include the Sasquatch mascot for the basketball team that I can't remember. I think it was the Sonics. And then the Chomper from One Piece as well. I could see both of those and this guy from Candyland all getting flocked variants to maybe Target or Hot Topic somewhere down the line. Moving on to DC, we have Wonder Woman with the Tiara Boomerang metallic. And this is, again, another example of those San Diego Comic-Con pops that got postponed back later into the year or now into 2021. So this is really interesting to see that so many of those pops got delayed by 6, 7, 8 months, however long it's been. This is another Wonder Woman pop. I'm not a big DC collector. I also wasn't a big fan of the new Wonder Woman movie. I just saw it a couple days ago, and it didn't really do anything for me. Felt a little funneled, felt a little lacking in terms of overall structure. But these pops are the complete opposite of that. The entire Wonder Woman wave for that new movie was so strong, and these exclusives they keep giving us are also incredibly strong. So it's kind of funny to see how Funko made this incredible line of exclusives for this movie that overall is kind of subpar. And I love that this is metallic. I think the Wonder Woman pops look great when they're metallic because it gives a nice sheen to the reds and the blues and especially the golds. And I can't remember off the top of my head where this will be shared to, but we'll talk more about that at the end of the video where we discuss the complete shared list. Next up from DC, we have Deadman and Spectre. And this is the pop that I wanted to talk about when we were talking about the Earthbound and Down guy. This Spectre pop, I believe, is the best pop of Emerald City Comic-Con 2021. I love when they take capes or parts of a pop and have them floating so the character is holding themselves up. And this is exactly what Spectre is doing. It plays into the green theme of the convention. It's a character that we haven't gotten before in a pop form, and hopefully it should be relatively easy to get for all of you DC collectors out there. And it is just really awesome to see DC finally get more representation and to see Funko kind of how do I want to say it? I think Marvel has been kind of the shining star of conventions for the last few years between the MCU and comics and Venomized and zombies. They've just been killing it time after time again, just doing these awesome lines and these dynamic and awesome poses, as well as the Wonder Woman that we just talked about, a bunch of awesome pops for DC, and I'm very excited to see what we get for San Diego and New York Comic Con as the year goes forward. And then the last reveal of Emerald City Comic Con 2021, you'd think it would be something big, something magnificent. You'd think it would be something big, something magnificent. Why can't I say magnificent? You'd think it'd be something big, something magnificent, something like Anchorman to San Diego Comic Con last year. But no, the last reveal of the day is 2 Diamond Edition Pokemon, Charmander and Vaporeon. What do I want to talk about first here? The first thing I want to talk about is that Diamond Edition in the first place is not the worst case scenario. You guys are going to kill me for saying that, but I actually think that these are going to look great in person. And although there are a lot of Pokemon variants right now, and although I too would have preferred to get Leafeon or Venusaur or some other Pokemon, my biggest thing about this reveal is that it's just so random, and it's very lackluster for being the last reveal of Emerald City Comic Con this year. In a couple days, I'm going to be posting a Pokemon video essay dissecting the Pokemon franchise and Funko's partnership with it, so I'll talk more about the Diamond Edition thing in that video, so look forward to that next week. I want to focus on the piece to how it relates to Emerald City Comic Con. Like, these are just 2 completely random Pokemon. So it just seems weird to me that they did Charmander, skipped over the middle, went to Vaporeon, who's one of the more recently released Pokemon. And now that I'm looking at this, it kind of makes me feel like Flareon and Jolteon are going to get Diamond Edition pops moving forward, since Vaporeon is the first evolution in the numerical order, and there's 2 really big conventions coming up later this year. And then in terms of Emerald City Comic Con reveals, this is a dumb way to end it. They should have made DC the last thing. I think a lot of people were looking forward to like what Funko could have left off the convention with. And Diamond Pokemon just seemed like a very lackluster way to kind of fizzle out the convention. They should have saved the My Hero Academia one to be last. Honestly, that would have been probably the biggest deal. Like, oh, and then here's a My Hero Academia character people have been asking for. Anime was a good way to start off the convention, but in general, this should not have been the way that they ended it. And that is all of the reveals for Emerald City Comic Con 2021. Overall, I would give it a 4 out of 10. As my final number. I think I wouldn't go any lower because there are some pretty cool things here, but I wouldn't go any higher because it just felt kind of like a lackluster show experience in general. There wasn't enough standout stuff that people were like unified in saying this is awesome. There were a few things that dropped the ball, like the bell and the Pokemon, but in general, this was just kind of like, okay, this is a convention. Overall, this convention kind of just felt like meh. I'm not going to stress too much about getting the exclusives that I want. And I'm not going to worry too much about going out in person to get them because I can probably order them online and be safe from the comfort of my own home. And I want to hear from you guys down below in the comments. What were your thoughts and opinions on Emerald City Comic Con 2021? Are you sharing my viewpoint of saying like, oh, that's kind of lackluster, like, oh, that sucks that that's it? Or are you hyped about something on here that I'm not hyped about myself? I can appreciate that the My Hero Academia pop and the Spectre Pop are 2 of the biggest and I think standout pops from this convention. I want to know what your must-have pop is of the convention. I want to know what you think Funko dropped the ball on. Make sure you leave me a comment down below. I love talking to you guys. Let's have a discussion in the comments down below. And if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please consider it. I'm posting content to this channel very frequently. And with Emerald City Comic Con around the corner, I am very excited to share all sorts of awesome green-themed content with you guys. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that in the future. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to collect what you love, even when what you love is another Charmander variant. And as always, guys, I will see you soon.